Today, I want to give you 10 vocal recording tips. Write these down as we go through them so you can try them on your next vocal recording session. Number 1, start with good tracks and a good rough mix. This goes without saying. I'm a little embarrassed to even say this, but it's worth reminding because people keep forgetting. If the raw tracks don't sound good, nobody's going to want to sing over that. No one's going to sing well over that. So make sure you're doing the hard work of getting good sounding tracks. Then, when the vocalist is coming over to sing, or if you are the singer, give yourself some time to do a quick rough mix. So whether that's just setting some levels, adding a little bit of effects, maybe a little compression on the drums, things like that, to get it sounding a little more finished, that's going to work wonders for the singer's state of mind as they perform. I would love to, as a singer, to sing along to a finished mix versus a halfway done, kind of sloppily put together mix. It's worth a little extra time to get it sounding great. Plus, this is a great chance to practice new mixing skills when it doesn't really matter. Your final mix is coming later. Why not try out that new compression tip you heard from that guy on YouTube while you're doing a quick rough mix for the singer? It's a great way to get some reps in without really hurting anything. Number 2, choose the right mic, but don't obsess over it. If you only have one microphone, this choice is really easy. Use that one. If you've got more than one, make an educated guess about which microphone makes sense for this singer, and then record a snippet of them singing. Once you listen back to that recording, if it sounds good, you're good to go. Go ahead and continue down the vocal recording session. Don't spend another hour doing a bunch of A/B tests between 6 microphones. You're going to annoy the singer, and you're going to waste a bunch of time to get arguably the same sound, just slightly different. Find a mic that works and then stick with it. Number 3, get the headphone mix right. If you want a good performance out of the singer, they've got to be able to hear themselves. And there's a sweet spot there. If they can't hear themselves, they're going to be off pitch. If their vocal is way too loud, a lot of times they're going to sing softer and more timid because it hurts if they sing loudly. You want to find that happy medium where they're not too loud and not buried in the mix, but they can hear themselves nicely. Number 4, have reverb and delay at the ready. It's annoying as a singer to ask for something like reverb and for it to take forever for the person to add that in. You should just expect that a lot of singers are going to want to have some reverb on their vocal. I wouldn't put it on there by default, but I would have it ready, meaning the reverb is already there, the send is waiting, I just have to turn it up or add it to the vocal track to add that reverb, and it should only take 2 clicks to get there. That way, if the singer asks for it, I can do it very quickly, and if they don't need it, no harm, no foul. Number 5, create a vibe. This has nothing to do with audio engineering, but it's probably one of the most important things on the list. If you come to my studio, I want you to feel creative and comfortable. So that means I'm going to have a water bottle handy. I'm not going to have super bright lights, but it's going to feel vibey in this room for the music that we're making. Instead of having like all concrete walls and big fluorescent lights, it's going to have a cool kind of mood lighting to it. Also, the vibe between you and me is going to be comfortable. I'm going to kind of feel out your personality, and I'm going to joke around with you a little bit, and we're going to have fun. It's not going to be stiff. It's not going to be stressful. We're going to have a great time making some music together. If you don't think about this at all in your recording sessions, just make a note to think about this the next time you record, even if it's just you in your own studio. How can you make it a little more vibey? Maybe turn the overhead lights off and turn on a lamp and a candle and just see. You might be just surprised how much better you perform in that environment. Number 6, double it. Sometimes doubling a vocal is the exact thing that the vocal track needs. If the singer can sing consistently from one take to the next, record one pass of the vocal, then have them record it again, only this time let them hear the first vocal. When you listen back, you've got 2 vocals singing at the same time, and it creates this cool, thick, chorusy, vibey thing that you really can't get with plugins. It's not perfect for every style of song, but if you're feeling like something's missing from this vocal performance, try doubling it. Number 7, use 2-bar pre-roll. What does that mean? Let me show you. Here's Studio One. I'm going to sing a vocal for a couple of bars, and I'm going to show you how to use 2-bar pre-roll to make overdubs and punch-ins so easy. Here we go. Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4. So I might say, hey, you know what? I wasn't happy with that 4 that I sang. And they'll say, okay, cool. You mean right here? 4. And I want to record that section. Here's what you can do. Now, I could just come back here somewhere, press play, and then I could just press record when I need to record. But sometimes that can be stressful, and I want to go back a consistent amount of time so they know how much to expect before they come in, for example. So when I'm recording with someone, if they say, yeah, let me get that bar 4 again, bar 4. So that's the part they want to punch in. I will use my cursor to select right before they're going to come in. And then in my metronome setup, which this will be different depending on what DAW you're in, but I make sure that pre-roll is on and set to 2 bars. So whenever I go to record, it's going to actually rewind itself 2 bars, start playing back from there, and then it'll record at the place where I marked it. So I can say, okay, cool, I'm going to give you 2 bars and then start singing. Okay, cool. Bar 2, bar 3, bar 4. And just like that, it automatically punched me in. And I can just keep going from there. So this is great for singers who, they're not going to nail it in one take. It's completely okay. Maybe they get through the first verse and the first 2 lines of the chorus and they mess up. And you say, no problem, let's just go back. Here's 2 bars before the chorus. 1. And it's that quick. That's, if you were to come do vocals with me in the studio, that's how quickly it would work. Now, it's not a matter of being fast and rushing you. It's a matter of, I don't want you to even have a moment to doubt yourself or to start feeling insecure. You've been singing, you made a mistake, you stopped, and within a half a second, we're back to singing again. It's a great way to keep the flow going. Number 5, make time for background vocals. Background vocals are wonderful, whether it's just a harmony vocal or a choir of, 2, 4, 6, 8 background vocals. Leave time in your session to experiment with that, especially if you're good at coming up with these parts and you can just say, hey, sing this. Ba-da-da. Now sing it again. Now sing ba-da-da, and just have them do those notes. Then you can use them almost like another instrument in the recording. If nothing else, at least make sure you have time for them to sing some harmonies if it makes sense for the song. Speaking of, back off the microphone for background vocals and harmonies. I'm not great at doing this, but a lot of times if I've got a bunch of background vocals that I want to record, like 8, 12, 16, if I'm right up on the microphone, that's going to build up real quickly and sound real muddy without me adding some plugins in there. There's nothing wrong with adding plugins to tame that low end, but it'd be nice if I didn't have to during the recording session so I can just stay in the vibe. So all I try to do is just back the microphone away. So now if I sing from here, it's got a little less of that thickness. It'll sound better. It'll blend better with the main vocal. There's a lot of good reasons to do this. Number 10, you can always re-record. It's good to put pressure on yourself to try to perform and to nail it the first time, but sometimes it's just not happening. Remember, it's okay to come back and retrack something after you've recorded it. Whenever you record something, you've got 2 goals. Make it sound good and make it not sound boring. I've got a 1-page checklist that spells out 9 different ways to make sure your recordings are never boring. You can have it for free. Just go to homestudiocorner.com/checklist. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. See you in the next one.